Hey everybody, I think we are going live. I'm just kind of jumping in. I was watching get lined up here. I was watching Debbie Does Sales just a few minutes ago. Let me move you guys a little closer. We're skipping a few frames, but it looks like everything's going pretty good. We will start probably just a tad early. My moderator is still not going to be here for a while. So we may jump around on some screens and just kind of screw around a little bit before my show starts because I am logged in a little bit early. I really wanted to check things. Not very happy. Boy, I hope we don't get cut off. We are dropping a few frames and stuff here. Uh, I just got my Wi-Fi back. We've had storms. Let me see how my camera angle is. So I'm just going to do a little pre-show here. Let me go ahead and see if we popped over to Facebook. I just watched Debbie Does Sales. She was talking about good information about if you need to buy a car, things that you should observe and think about. Let me go over here to Facebook real quick. Like I said, we are in pre-show. I haven't started my show yet today. Well, Crowdfire knows we've gone live. That's a good sign. By the way, Crowdfire is a sharing app. I'm not trying to sell you anything. But Crowdfire is a sharing app, and I have RSS feeds there that I have had for years. Like, quit paying for it a few years ago. Um, oh my, I don't see myself on Facebook yet. Let me make sure I'm here. Make sure my restream is all working right. That's why I do a pre-show. Oh well, there I am. I can kind of see myself. Let me do a test chat. I don't see myself on Facebook yet. Let me make sure I'm here. Make sure my restream is all working right. That's why I do a pre-show. Oh well. All right, good news. The chat is functional. So what that means is, if you are on, I'm getting myself comfortable and adjusted. You know, the show's not started yet. I'm still screwing around waiting for my show to start. But if you were on Facebook on my personal page, you can type in the chat and it will appear on the screen. That is how I see who you are and where you are. Also, if you're on one of the many networks I do globally, but you won't really see too much comments coming in. Every once in a while, I'll get a Twitch comment or one of the other networks I'm on come through, but mostly it's YouTube and Facebook. On Tuesday and Thursday at 7 p.m., I always do a show, Central Time. On those 2 days, my ears are popping. The weather's really changing. On those 2 days, I really need you to go to my Key Webco YouTube channel. Now, like I said, I'm set up that you can communicate with me from Facebook or YouTube, but I need subscribers. We're trying to get that 1,000 goal. It's a long ways away. I have like 73, I think, subscribers. And I don't want to really do any marketing campaigns to get them. I could. And with the traffic, oh man, my ears are popping. With the traffic that my websites get, I would probably be able to get it pretty quick. But I want to do it where you get to 1,000 subscribers the good old fashioned organic way, meaning people actually come in, they watch your show or they know you, and they subscribe to your channel and they engage it. That's the way to go. There's all kinds of ways you can get a bunch of subscribers. Sometimes you can just pay and get them, which you should never do that. Never pay to get followers or subscribers because they're not real. They're not real. Hey, Debbie Does Sales popped in. You did great. I'm glad you looked pretty good. You didn't look. Oh, my ears are popping. The weather's changing. But you didn't look like you felt too bad or anything like that. You look like you were good to go, and your information was really really good today. Debbie Does Sales is in here. She just got done with her show, and I'm just kind of lollygagging a little bit more because my moderator said she'd be ready in probably about like 5-10 minutes, but I may jump in because I have several. Oh, good. Yeah, I know. You know what? I get that way too because I don't get very much air. I have a hard time breathing. I always do. And when you talk, and you're on medications, plus you're talking, all the air is going out of you, your energy is going out of you when you're in these shows, and when you don't feel quite right, like Debbie just got out, you need to go fast. Yeah, you know what I found out that I was since this is pre-show, we're just gonna chit chat for just a few minutes. Oh man, I am still getting some drop frames, but we're doing okay. But I was noticing, I was watching my old shows because, I haven't been doing this a terribly long time. My graphics are flawless and everything. I have top level skills with all that. But my actual performance in front of the camera is adequate at best because I am not as personable as you might think. I've been doing Facebook Lives in my car for years. I mean, 4 years or something. Ever since it came out, I've been doing it every day. And that's a little different because I just get in there. It's a vlog, it's a video log of my business and life. And if you watched it, I have friends that have watched me for years on there, and they've seen business just get mammoth. They've seen the problems. They've seen it go up and down. They've seen all this stuff, and I enjoy that because it kind of logs what's going on with my business, and I share things. No, you didn't go too fast at all. I was able to follow you right along. Uh, you didn't really leave much room for questions because really you do cover those topics very well because you're sharing new and original information. See, that's again, you actually tonight in your show, I'm going to go ahead and talk to you for a minute. Actually, tonight in your show, you ran across what I run across all the time. When someone comes in and they know about a topic, but you're sharing new and important relevant information, and then you ask if they have questions, very rarely do they have a question. Very rarely, because you've just imparted information to them. So it takes them a while to assimilate and formulate a question. Now, we think of it that way, but the average listener that you come in and ask for a question, I know because I have trouble with this in my show a lot. Uh, if you've given them something new, it's Jay does this too. I've noticed in his show, he's real good at this. Don't ask them about the new information. Ask them if they have a question about something that they have done before or did something happen. Only when you're imparting something that is totally original and new. Even though you know that information, you might think it's a repeat in many ways. When if someone hasn't heard it before, they're not going to be able to formulate a question and get back with you. I was doing that a lot in some of my beginning shows, and I still do it now. I'll impart something that's like really complicated and hard to understand. Like you weren't doing that, but I do that all the time. I fry people's brains constantly. So I might impart something that's rather complicated, and I'll say, "Do you have any questions about it?" Well, in my situation, hey Kelly, oh, we've got Debbie Dosale. Oh, perfect finds. You made it. Okay, we'll get started here real quick then. But see, in my situation, I've already fried their heads by me asking, "Do you have questions?" They're not going to be able to formulate a question because they don't know what to ask about first, or they don't understand the topic well enough that I just blew their heads off with to formulate a question that anyone would understand. They might in their head goes, how does this part of it work? How, but to actually ask about it, they might not have the terms. So you did not go too fast at all. I think you did a fan freaking tastic job. Actually, you did an excellent job because if you would have left out information, you would have got questions, and that wouldn't have been good. So you did an excellent job, and I think you even caught that because I heard you say something. Well, I guess I did a really good job. You actually did. That's why there were no questions. What do you pull out as one ideas from what you heard me say? Definitely the time frame of the month. The time frame of the month. You gave them not only why. You didn't give them too many details, which I would have done and fried their heads, which was good. You did a better job than I would have done there. You gave them kind of the reason why they go at the end of the month by mentioning it towards the end of the year. Say the best time to go is the last week in December. That will stick in everyone's head. And you told them why with a reason that anyone who's in business would definitely identify with. Just like any e-commerce business, when you are on a car lot, you have inventory on that lot. Now, with an e-commerce business, you're having to pay taxes on your inventory, but it's a little different. On a car lot, you do have to pay something, I believe, for the value of the inventory. I'm not the pro here, you are, but you did make it clear that the new models are coming out. Nobody's buying cars because everyone's spending all their money. It's already a tight season. You go at the end of the year, the very last time, they're all ready to be closed up. but they have to stay and move those cars because all the cars that are gone by the end of the year means that I believe that's when they file their inventory. I may be wrong, but this is kind of how I think it works. So I believe that by January, they actually can get much more of the new models that are higher, that they want, that have higher demand. So they want to move all of the cars they possibly can off the lot before either the next month cycle goes by, but in particular the new year. And you made that very, very clear right off the bat because that is one of the most important tips that you gave. The other tip is you shared several times, and I'm glad you multiple repeat. You asked for an assessment. I'll give you one. Our show hadn't started. We are starting to get people, so I'll cut this short. But you mentioned several times, make sure when you go into the dealership, you don't mention anything about credit. You don't mention a trade in. You told them the routine and the way to mention a trade in if they actually wanted to do it at the very end. Every point that you made stuck in, and I was watching you as I was uploading videos. So you did a fantastic job. Okay, guys. Well, that's enough of me doing the pre-show. Debbie just did a show before me, so she asked me about it. You know, this is her first time back. She's been ill, so you ask me a question, I will always give you an answer. That's kind of what I do. So we are going to start helpful tips. What we are going to talk about today is shipping. We are going to zip right through here. I have a shipping app, and I will tell you about it as we get into the next scene. We're going to have a countdown in just a second. Oh, I'll probably start now. It's a little early, but uh, we're going to talk about the shipping app. Now, we're going to talk about all aspects of shipping. When I do the little video of the app, it's very quick. Each frame is only 10 seconds, I think, or 11 seconds. I'm going to just zip right through that. There will be chat visible. So if the words are there and carried over, this is for the moderator. If the words are there and carried over, you're pretty good. I think I now have it that pretty much in this show, every scene, if you put something in the chat, it'll carry over. But don't hold me to it. It may disappear. If I don't have the sound on when I switch scenes, please do me a solid like Debbie did earlier today when I was doing a test and talking for 20 minutes. Blah, 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 blah. Nobody was hearing a word. So if I happen to do something like that, make sure you give me a little signal there in the chat. So like I said, we are going to start now. There'll be a little countdown. Then we'll go to live scene, little chat window. Then I'll run through a shipping app. Then we'll go to another chat window where you can ask questions about shipping. And we'll hang out there for a little. If I don't get any questions, we will pop right next to the next chat. The next chat is where you get an opportunity to put your businesses and your links. If you sat through my whole show, I figure the least I can do is let you spam my page with your businesses. Plus, I don't want to have to spend time to look you up. That's always honest. I am always honest. That's why I might have more people that respect me than like me, and that's okay. So here we go, guys. We are going to start with the countdown, and then we are going to get this show rolling. Do we have sound? Yeah, we've got sound. All right, guys. Well, that was my little countdown intro. We are Helpful Tips show live stream right now. And what we are doing is we are on here. We're going to talk about shipping tonight. That's pretty much it. But of course, you can ask questions. I have a question and answer section coming. We are at the end of all of my little screens that I mentioned pre-show. I am going to jump over to the Dragon deals, which I do on Wednesday at 1 p.m. You get in here, we fill boxes. You basically buy boxes from me. They start at $10. They go to whatever you want. They go up in increments of 5. So on Wednesday, you pop in, I hold up an item, or you ask for something to see if I have it. My employee goes fetches it from the warehouse, and basically we just start filling boxes. And I will fill as many boxes as many people come in here, and you can get as many items as you want. And on Wednesday, we start at 1 p.m. in the afternoon. Why do I start at 1 p.m.? 1 p.m. in the afternoon? Because I will stay on here as long as people are still putting things in boxes. If that's all day and night, that's fine. I have over $1 million worth of my cost of inventory I am liquidating at a loss. So basically, I'm selling everything super duper cheap because I need to clear a warehouse. As a matter of fact, today, for the people that listen to me all the time, I did talk to that mechanic friend of mine, and he is he showed me the numbers on the motorcycle groups and the little off-road groups that he belongs to and members that buy motorcycles, trade them back and forth, and it is a high number. I said, if I brought a couple a week, could I drop them off easily? He'd probably bring a couple a day. That means that doesn't mean he'll do a couple a day. That means at least for sure a couple sets a week I could probably flip there. So I'm a global store, keywebco.com. I buy everything wholesale, just disassembled. I just buy all the parts to make a motorcycle and I ship it to the warehouse that right now you guys are going to buy all the inventory out of, so I don't have to donate it or burn it in a bonfire because I need that space to make real money again. So you better come to my Wednesday show and save a whole bunch of money. If you do not buy live on the Wednesday show, unfortunately, you're going to buy it and you'll still get a super great price, but it's going to be a clearance price. So you're going to pay at least double what you would in my Wednesday show. That's enough plug of that. So let's get off that live stream. Now we're in the chat window. We're going to sit here for just a moment. I always sit in the chat window just a little bit before we get in that shipping app. I used to do this to give people time to come in here, but I think we have just about everyone who's going to be up in here today. So we're going to just get moving right along. Now, what we're going to talk about here today is shipping. So as I go to the next scene, which I'm going to do very soon, this is going to be a short show. As I go to the next scene, and I'll do, it's not really a spiel, this scene. That's why there's a chat over there. If you have a question, go ahead and interrupt me. A shipping app that KeyWebco creates. Now, if the moderator is in here, she can go ahead and put in the links to the app page in general or the shipping app. Either of those two she can put in at any time. I have a website. You can go to keywebco.com and find it. Just go to the menu, scroll down till you see KeyWebco apps. On that page, you'll scroll down until you see the KeyWebco app for shipping. It says shipping app. You'll see it in a minute. And you can use it right there on the website. You don't even have to share it or move it or anything. Just scroll through the little boxes, touch the little windows, videos, whatever, all pops up open. Now, why am I not going to spend very much time on the shipping app today? And I have to give a special call out. I wish they would come in today, but I don't really see too many people. But Bolarama, I'm going to give a special call out to them today because Jay made several videos about shipping. I have other people that have made videos about shipping, and they're good too. But I thought, you know what? I use some of Jay's videos here and there in some of my apps. I have to just go to the thing and find it. Give me just a second. So we're going to go to keywebco.com and push the button. So just a second. I'm going to give you the links to the whole page of apps, and then you can find any app at any time. So we're going to go to keywebco.com, and we're going to go to where it says, see all those little things right there? That's the menu. A little pop-up will come up with my face. Well, it's a dragon face. Just close that. It's just me saying hello. So it says KeyWebco free app. So you click that button. Now, everyone should do this. I'm going to go ahead and show these links, and that's why I'm taking my time. I have to let them load. Now, this page is what's going to come up. We're not going to scroll through it or anything. You can see it yourself. But I'm going to first share this whole page with you, and then I'll have to go back, and then I'll grab the app for you. So let's copy this page. And let me go over to Facebook real quick. It's going to be a little slow. Hold on. We'll get that pasted in there. All right. Now, that is the link to get all of the apps. That's all you really need. Everything is there. And that is the actual page. You don't even have to go to keywebco.com first. That's kind of why I did that. Now I'm going to scroll down, and I'm going to show you the app that I'm going to do this video on in just a minute. There's a lot of apps. There'll be over 70 in here when I am done. I think there's 28, 29 now. There it is. I found it. That is the oh, terrible view. Hold on. Maybe you can see it. That's the app that you're going to see in the video in just a minute. So let me go ahead and grab that link for you guys. You just, if you wanted to share that, you just put, you're not going to be able to see. You just push the little share thing and copy it. Copy. And I'll drop that over there for you. I didn't make a bit.ly link or anything for that, so I don't know what it is. I just have to look it up. So we'll drop that over there on Facebook. All right. Now that is the app. Now if these disappear, yeah. if this disappears, then we have to do it again. But we could just, the moderator can do that now because she could just copy it and move it somewhere else. So we got that in there. And you do need that. You definitely at least need to know keywebco.com, hit the menu, and get all the apps because I provide everything you could want to know. I mean, I'm not kidding. I've got all the basics in there pretty much, and a little bit of the advanced too. But by the time I'm done, there won't be anything you could ever want to know that you would not find on that app page, all in one place. Do you have to go look for this and that and that? I don't have time for that. That's why I made this. All right, so we're going to go right into the shipping app now. Doing great on time here. I normally, let me do it. I normally get myself ready for this. Yeah, that's the shipping one link. Yeah. So I normally get myself ready for this because normally I do a big long spiel, but today I'm going to be pretty casual about it. Like I said, Bolarama J Craft did already some videos on his page and on YouTube, and he talks about shipping. He talks about how to pack, and I think there's one more. I'll see it when we go through. There's one more thing in there. I just said, well, I got other videos that I normally use, but I looked at his. I was like, oh well, shoot. Let me make sure I do a lot in the shipping app. Plus, the first app that I shared around kind of publicly, because I used to just make these for myself, was the shipping app. Because when I first met Jay, there's a fly in here. When I first met Jay, he told me about pirate shipping, and I say thousands of dollars in the amount of time I used it. So that's kind of also why he's in the shipping app. So here we go. All righty. I believe we have sound, and the links did carry over. This is the shipping app from keywebco.com, or just keywebco. You can find it on multiple sites. Now it's going to scroll through. There is a blog. The first link in the app, you just simply click it, and that blog has all kinds of information, everything you really need to know. It's a blog I actually wrote, and it has quoted all the best information you need. Then here we go. We've got Jay's What Sold and How to Pack It. This is a great little video he made. It's not about how to pack everything, but he does a really good job explaining how you pack things safely and nicely and get them on their way. So that is in there. The next little section here is universal tracking. Now, if you're just a platform seller, you're not going to have to mess with this too much unless you're ordering from other people. That link there will let you track anything on the globe, anywhere, any service. The next one is holiday shipping. Guess what I'm trying to indicate there? It's a little bit of pain in everybody's butt, including Santa's. So holiday shipping, I have a little bit of a PDF. I actually have an article for that. I haven't swapped it yet, but there's a PDF with info about that. Cubic. I am not going to take the time to try to explain to you guys how all that cubic shipping works. Jay did a fantastic job, so there it is. You can get the information right from him there. And now this is just a little thing I wrote. That may actually be inaccurate now. I have to see when I'm not old and blind. In other words, I'll have to look on a bigger screen. That's just a little statement. That link with the skull and crossbones is how you get pirate shipping. Make sure you click that. Again, dimensional shipping. There it is. Jay did a great job. This is actually one of my favorites of his. It's very boring for most people, but he didn't make it boring, and that's a really good thing to do. This is just a little tip. I don't remember who told me this. It may have been Jay. It may have been someone else. I think it might have been Jay. No, I think someone else told me first. But it's a first-class tip. If you're going to use a credit card to pay for your shipping, make sure you use one that gets cash back. You can get money back on your shipping. Why not? Platform diversification. This link in here will tell you about that. It's important. I'm not going to go into that in great detail. Then, of course, remember I keep mentioning everything you need to know, possibly ever need to know about business. Hopefully it's in there. It should be. If not, send me a message and I'll be shocked. But I will try to get it in there if it's not in there. And that is the KeyWebCo app page. And that is it. Wasn't that painless? Not too much drama. The links carried over. I'm getting better at doing my show, so it's less work for the people that help me along. By the way, my moderator in here tonight is Perfect Finds for You. Make sure you check her pages and sites and give her a special thank you for the hard work she does. All right, do we have any questions? Any questions about shipping? This is the time to catch them. You get my advice. You can ask anything you want to know. Hopefully I'll have an answer. If not, I can look it up really quick. I'm very good at looking things up. I use multiple softwares to do searches all in one button. I wrote code to do that, by the way. So I'm going to sit here for just a minute in case anybody has a question about shipping. It could be any kind of shipping. I actually have a nightmare now. Even though I don't really ship the items, I have to deal with a lot more drama with the global store and shipping. Oh, anytime, anytime. You do realize anybody can at any time during my shows. If you're in here, I don't really want to have to look you up. Plus, it's a great way for you to share your business around. I have no problem in any of Key Webco sites if you're just not selling a pair of sunglasses out of your store. But if you have a sunglass store, share the whole store. Say, this is my business. This is what I'm doing. Roger said I could put my link in here. Check it out. And I have absolutely no problem with that. Why? I'm going to do another show and gripe everybody out so I can lose what little followers I have. And I'm going to tell you guys, if I cannot go to your personal page and find your online business, I get very annoyed. Now, I'm just doing it to help you out. Could you imagine someone that saw you chatting in a Facebook group or on your own personal business page? Sometimes they don't remember your business name, but they can remember your logo because it was you talking to them. Make sure that if you do anything else on your personal page, if you don't want it visible, but you want anyone that is like e-commerce that really knows about business to be able to find your business pretty easy, but you don't maybe want Aunt Mabel down the street to notice it, on your personal page, on the banner of your personal page, click it and it's going to open up a little box. On the very right, edit it and put a link to either your eBay store or your business page or something. A lot of people don't fill out the little boxes on the left. And I do understand that. Some people don't want one business to know you're buying from one business and selling to another business. So I do understand the need for privacy. But on any of your pages, the banner on Facebook does have an option where you can click and in the comments of the banner, put a workable link, an actual HTTPS link in the comments. My pages don't have it right now because I forgot to put them back in. And I'm sitting there griping at everyone else for it. But on my pages, you can scroll down the list and find everything I have. If you don't want to do that, you can take your banner and make it so they can click and see the comments and actually get a link to your business. I used to do that a long time ago when I was very active on social media groups. I used to do that because I would make a page and I changed my banners a lot. My graphic skills were evolving, so I was always changing it. So I would forget to put in the comments the new link. And then I started getting complaints. Oh man, one of the reasons we always liked whenever we'd see you in whatever group, we knew all we had to do is push on your profile link and on your page. This is before I had the list. On your page, we just hit your banner, and in the comments was a link to your eBay store. Lots of people clicked that banner to get that link. So that's just an FYI in case you did not know that, since we didn't have any questions. Yeah, you did a great show, Debbie, today. You really did. Okay, since we didn't have any questions, let's go over to the next chat. Then we'll get over to something fun. Again, I'm going to go ahead and tell you guys, make sure a poll. Oh, yeah, this always happens. If you want to do that poll, help yourself. But add your business link in the chat. Hey, my VA made it. Boy, this is kind of late for you, too. Or early, super early. Okay, people just chatting. That's fine. So we're going to sit here for a little bit. You guys can chit chat about anything you want. Still, even though we're not in the question answer window, the little strobe light thing gets on people's nerves after a while. So if you want to add a link to your business, this is the time to do it. You can do that anytime during any of my streams. Notice I said streams, not my posts. I particularly don't want you putting them in my posts, but in my streams, not a problem. Now, we're before the final credit scene, but I told you guys, and I'm sure there's some people popping in here just for this little bit of drama I'm going to show you guys next. You may have been seeing me screwing around Oh, thank you. You may have been seeing me screwing around all week long, talking on here with no video. Oh, yeah, it's about 8 in the morning. Talking on here for 20 minutes with no sound on the video and looking all terrible with my hair all messed up and the old glary lights back behind instead of all nice. Well, it's because this thing on Wednesday that I'm doing is major. I'm going to be liquidating absolutely an unbelievable amount of merchandise, provided people come to buy it. And I'm basically filling boxes super duper cheap. I need to clear out a warehouse. So that's what I'm doing. I closed my eBay. I'm getting rid of it all because I don't want to screw around with it anymore. I'm tired of messing with products. So I'm going to make some real money and put other people to work to make money for me. That's what I like to do better. So I'm going to do that more. All right. So to do that, I need to empty out this huge warehouse. I have everything you could imagine. And if anyone in here knows me, they know that I'm not kidding. If you remember my store on eBay, you probably saw something on my store on eBay at one time or another. Well, all that's got to go. Not all. I'm keeping 300 listings, 100 for each of three websites I'm screwing around with. I have my global store, which I think I'm up to 8,000 products now. I'll be up to 30,000 hopefully by the end of the year. That's fingers crossed on that. I have one major US supplier I'm trying to score, which will put me in the game with eBay and Amazon and the rest of them. I'm not playing around, guys. Why do you think I'm dumping $1 million worth of inventory in this little show? Okay, just giving you some hints. So, before I give away too much more, let me see what I can give to you. So, this is what you guys are going to see. Let's see. I'm going to go ahead and I'm not going to do my starting soon because it's just music and it'll just get on your nerves. We'll do this instead. Now, do I have the background off? And is my mic on? Yes, you guys are hearing me, and you're not hearing a whole bunch of obnoxious fire noise in the background. We're not going to sit here very long because this isn't very exciting, but this is my starting soon. This is my pre-show for the show that you're going to see tomorrow. This will start about 5 or 10 before 1 Central Standard Time tomorrow. So this is the pre-show. Kind of lollygagging around this a little bit. Hey, Kim, I see you made it into Facebook. I'm I've already done my little shipping app. You guys all know how to use my apps, so everything's in there. Jay did all the work. He already told you everything. So what am I going to teach you? Repeat what he says. I'm not a parrot. Learn it from him. He does a better job delivering it than I would have. So it's in that app for the shipping app. Okay, so what we're screwing around with now is you're looking with the pre-show before my Dragon Deals live shop, which is tomorrow at 1 o'clock Central Time. It will go as long as anyone is in bidding boxes. We will fill boxes until no one's in here bidding. The minute the bidding stops, I'm like, okay, time for lunch. Bye, click. And I'm out of here. So that's the only opportunity you have to get these lots is when I'm live on Wednesday. That might sound unimportant at this time, but once you start hearing on social media about some of the deals that the few people that will start getting, as they start to filter in, and then when they start going, you will not believe what about. I'm going to be busy. So I suggest you jump on this quick because once I start getting busy, people have the chance to bid things up. You don't want to be in competition. You want me to clear the warehouse. I want to clear the warehouse. Yeah, I'd love it if you guys would bid stuff up a little bit. I want this stuff out of here. So if you guys don't compete bid and it goes cheap, it goes cheap, it gets out the door. That's the objective. So how many sales like that online do you see that are actually like that? People will tell you that and not be true. I'm actually doing it. So this thing goes around with the little video thing. Now I'm going to shut up here in just a minute. It tells you again how to do this. So this is what you would see between my pre-show, which just finished, and the actual live bidding show that we're going to do tomorrow. So I'm going to shut up and I'm going to let you listen to this. It runs pretty quick. It's kind of cute. We fill the box in the show. The live show on Wednesday you've got to watch. 1 p.m. Central Time. Every Wednesday. Pop in, make sure you check it out because during the show we fill a box. Once you get to the correct dollar amount, just use the app, click the link, choose the correct size box, and you're good to go. Lots of savings live. Now that you've paid for your box, all you have to do is use the app, send me a chat message, make sure that you include a list of everything you got and the price, even though your lot price will be cheaper. That way I can double check before I send your box and make sure you get everything. This is why I always forget to swap the sound, but I remembered to do it today. Then it would pop up to this big window with this huge freaking camera in my face, which I don't like. I don't like having my face all blown up. I'm too old to have the face all zoomed in. But I do the big blown up window because this is the same old cup, which still I have not cleaned. Last time I tried to show you a cup. Now, it's still not very good because it's all glary. I haven't fixed the light yet. But you can actually, if you had to, even with the crappy light, you can actually kind of get some details and make out things. Before I had it in that other screen where it was my image much smaller, you just couldn't see anything. So this is the way I do it. Kim and Perfect Finds for You should become friends. Both of you are great people. But this is for app items, meaning new lots. This is the one where you're going to make money. Now, this is a terrible example of product lots. I would probably just give you these. Don't ever buy fidget spinners. But if you wanted these, even if you're just buying them for yourself, let's say, now this is not true. Let's say I paid $5 a piece. If I did, I would need to shoot myself because you can buy them for $1 or less. So let's say I paid 5 a piece, just so I give you an example of how this works. And there are 5 of these here. If you were going to buy a lot, you wouldn't be paying what I paid. You'd pay half. Then I'd probably knock it down even more. But let's say I just charge you $2.50 a piece. Okay, so you would have your total. Then when it goes to buy the box, let's say I've already given you the discount. I say, you get all of them for $10, which would still be too much for fidget spinners. So you get all of them for $10. Now that doesn't mean you go and use the little link like it says to go buy a $10 box. You have to wait until your box is full. Even if your box total comes to $10, that's not what your box cost because we haven't figured in shipping. You bid on the value based on what I paid. Then at the end, once your box is full and my employee weighs it, we know exactly what's in your box and how much it's going to cost to ship it to you. If you bought enough stuff, chances are I'll just bite the shipping off. I'll say, it came to $25, just put it in a $25 box. But if it happens to be this $50 comforter, that costs $35 to mail, it's not going to go in your $10 box and be mailed to you for $10. So there is times when your box is going to be more expensive, but I will always try to make it that it's as close to half of what I paid for the item for it to arrive at your door, not be anything more than what I paid for the items in clearance to begin with before their markup. That way I can ensure that everybody that's coming on here, a lot of them are just going to come on and get good deals for themselves, which is fine. But there's going to be a lot come in here and get a lot of big boxes. They're going to, come every show, $20 box this week, maybe $100 box the next week. And they just start buying lots to fill their stores. And that's fine because I've got it to fill it. And you get them dirt cheap. If I can get these products to you about for what I paid for them in wholesale lots or in clearance at 90%, 75% off, and if I can get it to your front door in a box around that price, it's still not going to be as cheap as if you actually found some of them will when you buy a lot. But by individual item, it's still not going to be as cheap as if you went into the store locally and bought it because it has to be shipped to you. That's a single item. That's why we're doing boxes. If you buy a whole bunch of stuff, I'll look in there. If your total comes to $200 or $300, and I look in there, and most of the stuff, you have a huge amount of stuff, but most of it's like inexpensive stuff that I got for $2 or $3. I marked it down to $1 for you. I'm going to look at that huge box that came to a rather large total. And I'm going to say, let's say it came to $200. I say, put a $150 box. Might cost me $50 to ship it to you. Do you understand what I'm saying? So you guys are going to save a lot of money in this window. Now this is the one that's fun. Oh, big change. No. Just a little dragon, whichever side he's on. Just that little dragon changes. Now this window is a little different. In here, we're going to be only doing vintage items. And guess what? You're not going to see any pictures in my app of any of the products. You're not even going to be able to come in here and ask for something vintage that you want. This is where my employee gets a little joy out of his miserable life. That's what I told him today. He goes, "Oh, that's about right." We had a pretty good day today, even though I've been sick. I'm looking around. You can tell I have tons of cabinets. Well, you don't see anything, but I have tons of stuff everywhere. And all I'm going to do in this section, I'll say, "Oh, we're in the vintage section." My employee will just go over to the cabinet. I'm not going to direct him what to pick. It could be anything from like one of these little Fire King cups to Wedgwood to you. I've got some things that are going to freak you out. I don't want to name too much stuff off. This is going to be the fun because once I bring or my employee picks the item, I'm not going to remember what it is either. Okay, well, we're about done anyway. We're about done anyway. So I'm not going to be able to, I'm not picking the items out either. So he's going to bring the item over. I'm actually going to show you what it is, and we're going to look it up online, and then you make me a bid. I'll either take it or I won't. If I don't, it goes right back in the cabinet, and I sell it on Prairie Grit in January. Because I am going to make a Prairie Grit vintage store. All right, well, let's get going here. Moderator's got to go. I've done my time anyway. So we are going to, I got a chance to show you through that stuff. You got to hear my little robot voice, and I did remember to turn the sound on. So we are just going to end this show here now. Now remember, the show was actually before, and it was the shipping app. Make sure you take use of that. All right, guys, I will see you tomorrow at 1 p.m. Central Standard Time.